it's all about humanity.
And here we are again. Welcome, everyone. I can see you joining in the chat. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are coming in from around the world. Today is the 10th of April, 2025. Strong Bitcoin hand. That's the name of the game. Buy, hold, stack sats, and get on with life. That is it. Welcome in. I'll get to you all in a minute in the chat. But as always, let's do what we have to do. Don't come looking for financial advice, people. You're not going to find it here. You're not going to get charts, TA, crazy price predictions. It simply isn't going to happen. Okay, desktop. Follow me somewhere else. This channel has been taken down once already. It could happen again. And if you are following me on something like my backup channel, which is UK Bitcoiner, if you do a search on YouTube, you'll find it. It is a dormant channel. But if this one does go down again, I will take my live streaming software there and stream there, and then you will get continuity. So it's so worth following me on that backup channel. If you're not on the Orange Pill app, you ought to at least have a look. You ought to at least play around with it. Try a month subscription. It's the price of a cup of coffee, for goodness sake. You'll find there's so much on there. There's Bitcoiners all around the world. There's Bitcoiners in your locality. You can connect with other Bitcoiners. You can zap Bitcoiners. You can zap groups. Absolutely fantastic. We are both now lifetime members, so it's a done deal. You pay once and you've got it for the rest of your life. If you're looking at this and considering at least trying it out and registering, use my link in the show notes, because then once you register and take out a subscription, even a 1 month trial, Orange Pill will give you 5,000 sats for doing that. Well worth thinking of. Those sats could be worth a lot in the future. The Best of Exmoor is the show sponsor, a holiday company down in the southwest corner of the UK. And as you can see at the top, they are Bitcoiners. So we should all be supporting Bitcoin merchants, because one day we're going to be looking for somebody to buy our beef from, to get our car fixed, to book our flight, to go on vacation/holiday. And Chris, the Best of Exmoor, well worth checking out. Over 200 or about 200 holiday cottages in the southwest corner of the United Kingdom. A beautiful place called Exmoor National Park. And it really is a beautiful place. Not so beautiful if it's raining, but it is a beautiful place nonetheless. So at the very least, if you scan the QR code and go in, it shows Chris that my promoting his business is at least sending traffic. He's fully aware that for a few years he's going to get no traction because Bitcoiners don't want to spend their Bitcoin. But what he's doing, he's positioning himself ready for when Bitcoiners do want to take some chips off the table and book a holiday/vacation. And if you do that and you're aware of it already, as you can see, you can pay in currency, you can pay in Bitcoin, you can use my code and get yourself a further discount. So why wouldn't you do it? Okay, so here we are once again, in case it is Thursday, the 10th of April, 2025. Can you believe we're in the 4th month of this year already? It is absolutely breakneck speed, the way the days, weeks, months, and even the years are absolutely racing by. It really is. So when I say buy Bitcoin, secure it on a hardware wallet, and then get on and enjoy life, because as Jack Mallers said, there are only two things in this world that are finite, and that is our life and Bitcoin. Okay, we know we're going to die. We don't know when, but we know we're all going to die. It's a journey we're all going to take. So you should get out there, smell the roses, enjoy your family, do what you're put on this earth to do, and just stack Bitcoin on a regular basis. Stop worrying about what the day-to-day price is doing, and I'm telling you, you're going to be good. You really are. So I have seen, hold on, JB Bitcoiner is in the house. I have seen John G is with us just in time, watching before the Bournemouth meetup. Have a good meetup, Justin. Elaine Mrs. UK is with us. MP Wilson. Cliff Morley's in the house. Johnny Midas, Yorkie Bitcoiner, Eddie Willers. Good to see you, bud. I did send you a keep message. Perhaps you haven't seen it. Yeah, check that one out. BitcoinMeister is in the house. Carlinasia, whatever. I'm sorry. Welcome. Good to see you. Vinny Rondo's in the house as well. Good to see you. Okay. So I haven't got a massive amount of content today for a simple reason. There is not much going on apart from tariffs, markets all over the place. Carl in Asia. Oh, got it. Carl in Asia. Brilliant. Carl in Asia. Great. Excellent. Thank you. So my point in the thumbnail is I drew inspiration from Adam, who's in the chat, BitcoinMeister, and he always used to say, Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin, and you need to learn long-term thinking. And the reason for that is because everyone's on a long time preference right now, or a high time preference, which means they get some money and they want something now. And they've lost the art of saving for the future. And you can see why, because when you save in fiat, it is being debased by our governments all around the world, and it is buying less and less and less over time. Well, that is coming back into play now, because by saving in Bitcoin, your purchasing power is going up and up and up over time. And if you can get that, then you're gonna have one of those aha moments where once you see it, you can't unsee it. But if you are new, or if you are day to day looking at the price, or bless her, my sister-in-law today said to me, I put 20 quid's worth in last week, ain't gone up very much. It's like, what the friggin' hell are you expecting? You know, you got to have a low time preference. For us, come May the 23rd this year, about a month or so out, we've been hodling strong for 8 years. I'm probably reckoning that's going to be 10 before some chips are taken off the table, but we'll see how that plays out. Depends if we get some kind of crazy blow off top. We will see. I don't know. But here's my point, Mr. W, welcome. Here's my point. If you are worrying what is going on day to day, week to week, month to month, you've got this all wrong, people, because everything's so volatile. How do I know this? Let's go to the desktop. This is what happened last week across the board. Forget Bitcoin. The stock market, the S&P 500, everything globally was bleeding out, and people expect Bitcoin to stay up. It is not decoupled yet. So therefore, it is the most liquid asset there is, and particularly at a weekend, it's the first thing that people are going to sell if they need to get out of a position or fulfill a margin call, whatever it might look like. So you got this 1 week, then Trump comes in with his 90-day breather for nations, and you get this. So it is about understanding that if you take a long view, for example, when we got into Bitcoin in 2017, it was just a shade over 2,000 a coin. And now it's in sterling, I don't know what it is, about 63,000. So in 8 years, can you get that type of return anywhere else? No. But if you then zoom in at the chart and take a look at what's going on, you could get in 2017, it goes to 20 grand. You think you've died and gone to heaven because you don't understand it. And then months later, on the other side, in 18, it's down to 3,200. And if you don't learn and understand what makes this thing unique, you will sell thinking that you've lost money. And of course, if you held and you waited for the next epoch to play out, come 2021, you're back up at 64,000 and then a 69,000. And then it tanks again. We get the catastrophes of 2022, and we've all lived through those. And then we get into 2025 and we see $109,000 Bitcoin. And now we're back down currently at 78.7. That does not mean this thing isn't at some point going to turn and run, and it's going to retake that all-time high. Another phrase that BitcoinMeister always used that I latched onto, and that is Bitcoin always retakes its previous all-time high, outruns it, and then doesn't drop down below that previous all-time high when the next lows kick in. So higher lows, if that makes sense. But it is a volatile beast, and it is the volatility of Bitcoin that gives you the upside to make money to secure your family's financial future. You got to learn this stuff, people. The volatility, as Saylor says, is vitality, and it is what gives you the asymmetric upside. Okay, so we got a few articles, and I found this one, and I wanted to bring this to your attention. So for those of you that are not aware of it, you need to be aware of it. If you are holding Bitcoin, you need to be aware of address poisoning. What is it? A Bitcoin security expert is warning that address poisoning attacks are on the rise on the blockchain as low transaction fees allow threat actors to target a large number of addresses at a relatively low cost. In an address poisoning attack, an attacker sends its target a transaction from a newly generated wallet whose first and last characters match the target wallet, or a wallet the target has recently interacted with. The next time the target wants to send money to that wallet, they might mistakenly copy the lookalike address from their transaction history and send money directly to the hacker instead of their intended recipient. Jameson Lopp, co-founder and chief security officer of Bitcoin secure storage firm Casa, conducted an analysis of address poisoning attacks on Bitcoin, scanning the entire blockchain and identifying 48,000 suspected attacks since 2023. Lopp identified transactions with one input and one output consisting of two different wallets with the same first four and last four characters, a strong signal of an address poisoning attack. People, be aware of this. Look very carefully. When you are moving Bitcoin, don't anymore just check the last four and the first four and the last four when you copy and paste it in. Go through all of it. It is worth the 5 minutes of your time to double check every digit if you're dealing with a large amount of Bitcoin, because I'm telling you, once it's gone, you are not getting that Bitcoin back. It has gone forever. So just be warned. And if you're following this channel, I will warn you of things like this. What else? Here's a crazy one. Can't get over this one. CZ has just not long done a stint in prison, and he's out, and now he's become the crypto advisor for the Pakistani Crypto Council. Awesome. The Binance founder CZ has been appointed as crypto advisor for the Pakistan Crypto Council. The appointment of CZ as a strategic crypto advisor for Pakistan has been met with great enthusiasm. Notably, Senator Mohammed Aurangzeb, I hope I haven't butchered that, highlighted that the appointment of CZ is a great moment for Pakistan. This is a landmark moment for them, the senator remarked. We are sending a clear message to the world. Pakistan is open for innovation. With CZ on board, the former CEO of Binance, we are accelerating our vision to make Pakistan a regional powerhouse for Web3, digital finance and blockchain-driven growth, he added. So, look, they're all getting on board with this, people. Don't be left behind. Bitwise CIO claims tariff tantrum likely bullish for Bitcoin as a more fractured reserve system forms. Bitwise CIO Matt Hogan expects a trade war to weaken the US dollar's reserve currency status and catalyze demand for hard money like Bitcoin. Despite escalating tension, the asset manager maintained its $200,000 end-of-year Bitcoin price target. We're on track, people. You know, when you look at this, I believe we corrected about 32%. Somebody might want to put in the chat if it was bigger than that. But 2017, I think we had 4 or 5 39% corrections. So if this is what we're dealing with, then just chill out, people. All's well. And you will look back on this in history and say, God, you remember when we were freaking out thinking Bitcoin was over, the bear market was coming and yada, yada, yada. Well, none of us have got a crystal ball. Me neither. Matt Hogan either. None of us have. But they're just saying, looking at all the facts, it still looks like the last chunk of the bull run is still ahead of us. BitMEX founder Arthur Hayes says US rival could trigger capital flight into Bitcoin, shuns altcoins for Bitcoin. Of course, he's talking about China. BitMEX co-founder Arthur Hayes believes one catalyst could help send Bitcoin to new all-time highs amid US President Donald Trump's tariff trade war. Hayes tells his 675 almost 1,000 followers on X that the weakening of China's yuan due to central bank money printing may cause investors to move their wealth into Bitcoin as a hedge, similar to what occurred in 2013 and 2015. Quote, if not the Fed, then the People's Bank of China will give us the Yaxi, whatever that is, Yotzi. Ingredients: CNY, or the Chinese yuan, devalue equals narrative that Chinese capital will flow into Bitcoin. It worked in 2013, 2015, and can work in 2025. Ignore China at your own peril, he is saying. Standard Chartered expects Bitcoin to rise amid US tariff hike. Analysts at this no less than Standard Chartered, people, massive global players. Analysts at Standard Chartered have said Bitcoin could benefit from rising tariff risks as signs of US isolationism, yeah, that's right, begins to shape market sentiment. Quote, I think Bitcoin will become a hedge against tariff risks this time around, end quotes, said analyst Jeff Kendrick. Kendrick added that the recent sell-off in cryptos is likely to taper off and Bitcoin could return to the 84 grand mark unless there are some broader risk-off moves in traditional markets. Kendrick has been amongst the most optimistic voices on Bitcoin, previously predicting a price target of 200,000 by the end of 2025. He believes Bitcoin will reach 300,000 by the end of 2026, 400,000 by the end of 2027, and 500,000 by the end of 2028. Why so bearish? Seriously, we could see 1 million, but the fair value price could be 500,000. Would you take 500,000 by 2028 if you held a Bitcoin and you bought it at 100 grand? Think about it. That's a 5x return on your investment just for buying and holding. And here's a thought for you all, for those of you that think this is dead in the water now, we're going into a bear market. Just take a look at this. Now, I nicked it from someone else, so it's a bit grainy. My apologies. But if you look at what happened after the US elections in 2016 and 2020, are you telling me that 2024 stroke 2025 that we're in now, we could be any different? Do you think this is all over? All the metrics are showing that we haven't topped yet. The market hasn't got anywhere near frothy right now. So I would say just keep stacking, people, because this is just me. Just no financial advice. I believe the best is still yet to come. Whoops, I've got a pop-up. Let me get that out of the way. Okay, what else have we got? Some tweets. I love this one from Alistair Milne. By every measure, we have just experienced volatility and fear on a scale last seen in 2008 or the COVID crash in 2020 when Bitcoin traded at 4K. Bitcoin didn't trade below 74K. No exchanges or lenders blew up, as far as I know, brackets. Anything sub 100K becomes the new buy zone. I think he's right, people. We didn't blow up. Trump just did something that hasn't been done for 100 years. He blew the markets to bits and we dropped down to about 74, I believe, something like that. We're at 78.8 at the moment. So honestly, chill out. As British Hoddle says, chill the F out. It is all still ahead of us. The Bitcoin historian, breaking. Pakistan appoints Binance founder. Well, we've covered that already. It's just an image of it there. But nation state FOMO will start to kick in. It is already kicking in, people. Fear not. Again, another one from Pete Rizzo. World's largest credit rating agency, S&P Global, says Bitcoin is becoming an uncorrelated asset. It's decentralized, geopolitically neutral, and could hedge currency debasement. Everyone's talking about it as, store of value, maybe dethroning the dollar in the future. There's very few people saying it's a scam, it's a Ponzi, it's going to zero. Only those that are going to be left behind, people. So I implore you, don't be left behind. Richie, good to see you, buddy. Okay, what else have we got? Bitcoin Magazine. 700 billion Bernstein, no less, says Bitcoin has much more resilience than those during previous crises. It's impressive, they said. Absolutely crazy. Bernstein are saying this. Not a fan of this guy at all. But he's got a monster following from Shark Tank in the US. Shark Tank's in Kevin O'Leary says Bitcoin is digital gold. Enough said, meaning he was dealing in crap coins, investing in all sorts of crap coins. He stood up and said Sam Bankman-Fried was the greatest since sliced bread, and he was the new, I won't say messiah, but he was full of praise. He took about 15 million from him, I think, to say what he said. Of course, Bitcoin's starting to become the shining star, the beacon of hope. So what does Kevin O'Leary do? Come out and start getting behind it again. But I'm telling you, people like me don't forget the antics that he got up to. We don't. So I don't trust him. What else? I saw this one. I thought I would share it with you. The Standard said, Brexit to blame for London suffering biggest exodus of millionaires in the world. Leo Kearse tweeted 11,300 millionaires left London last year. They didn't leave because of Brexit. They left because London is now a sketchy crap hole with crumbling infrastructure, the capital of anarcho-tyranny. Posters on the tube alternate between threatening you not to commit hate speech and informing you that diversity is our greatest strength. You can't take your kids to the park because there's broken glass and the Somalian man with mental health issues sitting on the rocks drinking his benefits. Absolutely right. The UK is dying a death and the millionaires are leaving left, right and centre, and it's in our plans as well. We left the UK in 2015. We retired down to the sunshine, but Brexit and a few other things brought us back. But we are now making those retire to the sun plans around Bitcoin again as we speak. So I'm certainly not staying. How quickly we can get out, I don't know, but I am not staying in this country that is so in the dark ages, it is unreal. We are off. The Bitcoin therapist, ouch, some person called Gainsey, sent my MacBook to get repaired and they formatted it. Lost a Bitcoin wallet and ordinals. Extreme agony. Here's my message. Then don't keep Bitcoin on a Mac. Don't keep private keys on a Mac. Don't keep a wallet on a Mac. Get a friggin' hard drive, people. If you think your crypto even is going to go up in value, don't leave it on a Mac. Back it up. Don't leave it in password managers. Don't ever take a digital copy of your seed. You'll lose it all. Now they've been and wiped his hard drive. They told me when my Mac was repaired last year that if all else failed on repairing my keyboard, they'd have to format the drive. Have I backed it up? Yes, I have. They didn't ask if I've got any Bitcoin wallets on it, but the answer was no, I have not. Okay, so we're going to wrap with a video that I came across that is absolutely superb, and I'm not even going to say anything about it. I'm just going to run it because I think it is brilliant. Listen up.
It's the easiest way to get a clear view of where Bitcoin is going over the next 5
Look who this is. He is now the Secretary of Commerce right beside Donald Trump, Howard Lutnick.
years is take a look at the last 5. Right? The last 5, Bitcoin has been an outsider in the finance business, becoming closer and closer and closer. Right now, there's an ETF just starting to go a little bit mainstream. Maybe you will see all the traditional financial service companies, the big banks, the big brokerage companies, they're all going to go headfirst into Bitcoin pond. That's what's going to happen, and it's coming. And when that happens, you're going to see Bitcoin move in a very, very strong, positive direction. So that's why I'm a fan of Bitcoin. It's going to go much higher. It always bounces around like any other financial asset, but ultimately over the next 5 years, as it gets invited into this party, up we go.
He was the CEO. I think he's had to step away because he's now in Trump's cabinet. But he was the CEO of Cantor Fitzgerald. Now listen to what some of you would have seen this, but listen to what he says about his Bitcoin holdings on the Anthony Pompliano show.
How rich are you? And how much of your net worth is in Bitcoin? Because if I don't ask you, everyone will be really mad at me.
I have
the percentage. You don't have to say exact number, but like, how do you think about either you or Cantor?
I don't have a big enough percentage. I probably have, I can't say because then people can figure out the number and how much I have. I would say I have hundreds of millions of dollars.
Okay.
Hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, exposure to Bitcoin. And it will be billions.
I was going to say, so next year when you come back and we'll do this again and you'll be a Bitcoin billionaire and,
yeah, you remember that model I told you? So if every time Bitcoin dips, I'm going to be the buyer.
So that is why we've got these floors. You've got billionaires like Lutnick and Saylor and others. They are mopping it up whenever the price drops. That is why we've got a floor here, people. That is why you should be comfortable to buy Bitcoin now. I'm not saying you should, not financial advice, but the big players are here and they ain't going away. And every time there's a dip, they are buying more. Okay, very quickly, back over to the desktop. 21 million club coming up on Saturday. Looking forward to that one. The email is in your inboxes, but you will get another email 4 hours before we kick it all off on Saturday. So really looking forward to that. You know who you are. If you haven't read your email, check it. It's there. I found this quote from Audrey Hepburn, and I think it's brilliant. Nothing is impossible. The word itself says, I'm possible. What a beautiful quote that is. Nothing's impossible. We thought that Bitcoin couldn't go from 2K to 20K. When I was new, I didn't. People are saying now it's 100K, it isn't going to 1 million. Wait. That is only a 10x, people, when all the institutions and nation states are piling into this thing. And it did a 20x back in 17 when it was just retail, plebs like you and I. Just buy and hold, and I'm telling you, you're going to be very glad you did. Okay, if you want to support me, there's some Sats addresses, and there's even my Revolut bank link there if you want to drop a donation that way. But again, I've said this before, you don't have to. So there you go. That's another show under my belt on the 10th of April, 2025. And I keep saying the date because I want it time-stamped for the future. So when Bitcoin is at 10 million a coin, people might come across these videos and think, he was right. Look at the date he did those videos. That's why Adam Meister, BitcoinMaster, has done all of his videos. So the timestamps are there. The test of time, I believe, will show that we are right. And all those people bashing us and bashing Bitcoin will be proven so wrong in the future. So that's it. Have a great morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Smash the like button. Share this wherever you can. Please go into the comments after the live stream has ended. Refresh your browser and leave a comment because it does help the algorithm. My numbers are going up, and I'm hoping I can get to 7,000 subs pretty quickly. I'm not a million miles away, so if you can share this out, help the subs go up, I'd really appreciate it. I haven't monetized the channel because I don't want to, but I want the satisfaction that I did something that people wanted to see and hear, And the higher the subs go, the more satisfaction I get for little old me producing a Bitcoin channel when I don't know a whole great deal. But there you go. That's it. Have a good one, everyone. I will catch many of you on Saturday, and the rest of you, I'll be back on Monday with another live show. Until then, have a good one. Stay safe. Stack coins. Get it offline. Hardware wallet. And get on and enjoy your life.